Hey guys, welcome back to CMTEQ channel. So this is part 2 of tutorial 11 on short circuit MVA calculation. So I'm just going to recap quickly here if this is the first time you're tuning in. So last time, that was part 1. We basically went into the background of the problem statement, as it's always important to understand what you are dealing with. So we basically were tasked to find what is the maximum fault that this circuit breaker will see, right? So in order to do that, we understand that we need to convert into the per unit equivalent from our network here. So using the base per unit formula, we then went on and converted all the electrical equipment here based on the new MVA of 1200 MVA. So we get a new per unit equivalent, and then from there we then converted our network into an impedance diagram. So as you can see here, generator 1 is then replaced with the per unit value, and from there we can then start simplifying our impedance diagram. So now generator 1 and 2, they are in parallel, so we can then reduce them into a single per unit impedance by working out the parallel equivalent values. So then we've got this simplified impedance diagram. So we're going to continue from here to basically then work out the total per unit impedance, and this total per unit impedance will then help us to determine the amount of fault MVA that this circuit breaker will be dealing with. So that's basically what we're going to see here. Okay, so basically, to get the total impedance, as we already converted these G1 and G2 into a single impedance, now we can see that G1 and G2 parallel, right, is now also in parallel with a reactor and G3. As we can see that all of them, they are driving, pushing the current to this point here, and from here also pushing the current to this point, so which means they are in parallel, and that parallel combination must then flow into this branch, which is the transformer per unit impedance there. Right now, before we move forward, I'm going to pause for a second and to basically ask that if you find this tutorial useful, please subscribe to CMTEQ channel and give this tutorial a thumbs up. That will be highly appreciated, and that is a very easy way, the best way to support CMTEQ channel. And you are more than welcome to share the tutorial to your colleagues, your classmates, your fellow friends, and that's going to spread the word out. I thank you so very much as you hit that subscribe and thumbs up button. Okay, so now having said that, basically to get our total per unit impedance here, we basically going to get a parallel combination of this section and this section together, plus 9.6 that basically is in series with the parallel combination. So that gives us a total per unit impedance of 13.8 J, right? Now this is basically what we said earlier is the fault impedance. So that's a fault impedance. This impedance is the only impedance standing between us and the fault. Now we know that in order to get a short circuit current, you have to get the per unit current so that you can multiply it with the base current, okay, as we've seen on the previous tutorial. So now that we've got the total per unit impedance, we can then go ahead and try to find our per unit current here, right? So to get the per unit current, we basically going to get a formula that say I per unit is equal to 1 volt per unit over Z per unit total. So we got Z per unit total, which is 13.8 J. So that gives us this per unit current of 0.0725 amp. Right, now that you've got your I per unit, the per unit current, you are moving closer to finding the fault MVA that the circuit breaker here, the old circuit breaker, will be dealing it in case of a fault here at the feeder. Now you know that in order to find that short circuit current, you need to find the base current, right? So that basically the current that will be flowing normally if there is no fault. Now here comes a trick, because they never specify what was the values or the voltage of these three generators. Now, as you've seen on part 1, we basically use 11 kilovolt for each one of these generators. So that basically means this reactor or the bus, it was an 11 kilovolt zone here. So that was easy for us to find all the per unit equivalent. But now we don't know what was the rating of the transformer. That was, we know what the rating of the transformer, as they specify here, is a 5 MVA transformer with a 4% per unit reactance. So that was good for us to find the 9.6 per unit, new per unit, based on the new base MVA. So now, what is the base voltage are we going to use on the feeder here? Now, I said earlier, if it's not given to you, you can basically use a 1 volt per unit on this base here. And that 1 volt per unit would be the base voltage of the section to basically determine and calculate the amount of fault that will be flowing there in case of a short circuit. So having said that, we can then go ahead and find our base current by calculating I line. It is SB new divided by VB zone times the square root of 3. So that VB zone is the 1 volt per unit, as you can see here. So that gives us this current. So that basically is 693 mega amperes. So that's a lot of current, 692 mega amps. Okay, now you're going to use that current to then calculate your short circuit current, which is I per unit times I line, and that gives you this short circuit current of 50,23 mega amperes. So now look at the irony here. The line current is actually higher than the short circuit current, and that is precisely because we are choosing a 1 volt of a base here. Now, if we have to use a voltage, a secondary voltage rating of this transformer, now let's say we've been using 11 kilovolt for our generators. So if this is a step down transformer feeding up to our feeders, so that basically means this transformer will be like a 3.3 kilovolt. That must step down from the 11 kilovolt. Then using a 3.3 kilovolt here, you basically going to have less line current going on here, and that will also translate in a different short circuit current going on here. Okay, so that basically what the difference is going to be there. Now, having said that, from here obviously you can calculate your short circuit MVA using the same formula of your line current, this time replacing your SB new with your S short circuit. That's what you basically going to calculate. Okay, and that gives you a short circuit MVA of 87 megavolt ampere using the same 1 volt per unit as a base voltage around the feeder, because that is the base voltage that is supplying this feeder here, or the fault that the circuit breaker is going to be dealing with. So that is it, guys, for this tutorial. I hope you've find something in this tutorial to take away. Please subscribe to CMTEQ channel and give this tutorial a thumbs up. That would be highly appreciated. Until next time, stay tuned for more tutorial on short circuit calculations and load flow analysis.